I'm Joe Stead, founder and CEO of Police Brutality Matters. What I do here on PBM, I give professional expert assessment. What makes me an expert? I spent many years in law enforcement. During that time, right, in law enforcement, I held several different positions. I was a vice president of a union, so that allowed me to understand how the department writes up individuals, how the union fights for individuals. There's a whole process when it comes down to the union and how they represent. So I have that experience. I was in patrol. I was in a drug and gun task force. I was on a federal task force. I was only one of few officers that had the opportunity to testify in federal court. I had a case go all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the justices said, listen, yeah, Officer Stead knows what he's talking about. So my training, my experiences, my education in law enforcement makes me that expert. So that's why CNN, MSNBC, Fox, Court TV, that's why they always call me to come and give my expert assessments. Now, what I do with you guys, I give you my expert assessment so you can actually judge what's police brutality and what's not. So I thank you for the support, and let's check out this next video.
Sidewall. They roll over, get me EMS started. Got the number 3 lane shut down. Get out. Come on out. Come out this way, right here. Come out this way. Can you come out? Yeah. Hold on a minute. Can you get out your passenger door? Here, I'm going to move this. Watch your head. Why didn't you stop?
Because I didn't feel like it was safe.
Well, this is where you ended up.
There was enough.
Put your head. Can you come out this way? I got plenty of room right here. Are you the only one in the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pregnant.
Well, ma'am, you've got to pull over when we
I
stop.
had my flashes
It doesn't matter,
on.
ma'am.
I
Come on
didn't feel
out.
like it was safe.
I've got an ambulance coming for you.
You need help?
Hey, Sheila.
What's up, are you southbound first?
Come on, can you come out?
I'm trying. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Corporal Dunn conducted a pit maneuver, which caused this victim to slam into the guardrail, flip the vehicle over, and he pretty much gave her a ticket. Now, pit maneuvers is normally not done on a speeder. We're talking about somebody who was speeding, because he went to the hospital and gave this lady a speeding ticket. Normally it's done on, you're chasing a felon, you're chasing a vehicle that's not stopping, and, the speeds that this individual is going, you have to take in account how dangerous this person is. Do you need to hurry up and eliminate this vehicle pursuit because this person is going to really cause harm to somebody on the roadway? We're talking about this is late at night. I didn't see any traffic. There was no other cars there. The person didn't pull away, right? One of my vehicle pursuits, right? It went all the way up to the Supreme Court. And you can actually look it up. United States versus, was it Mark Tolliver? Is it the individual who got behind and tried to stop? When somebody wants to get away from you and you light them up with the emergency light sirens, the speeds increase quickly, real fast. You see an attempt to get away from the police. So when I'm looking at this, he even admitted that she did slow down once he activated. She just didn't stop. So I'm trying to understand, why the pit maneuver? You didn't really identify the justification for the pit maneuver, right? The pit maneuver, the danger level has to increase, and it needs to be a huge rush to actually stop this vehicle. I didn't see that. And what's crazy about this video is that Corporal Dunn, he's been on the job, right, since 1989. 1989. I hear all the time, well, officers get more training or less training than people who cut hair, barbers, which is not true. The initial training may be the case, but there's continuing education that you must on a yearly basis go. So this particular officer, since 1989, he has thousands and thousands of hours in training. He should know better. This lady was pregnant, and out of his own words, out of his own mouth, right? From his own words, he says, you didn't pull over when I was, in the manual in Arkansas, right? The driving manual, when you go take your driver's test, some people study to get their permit and then they get a driver's license. Their own manual, it tells you, right, to pull over in a safe area, right? And to use your flashes so the officer can I guess, identify that you do see him and you're just waiting for a safe place to pull over. It says use your signals and your flashes within their own manual. And if you notice, she did exactly that. And then during the conversation that he had while she was flipped upside down in the car, he said, why didn't you stop? She said, I'm pulling over. I'm trying to look for a safe place to stop, because that was that pretty highway right there. The service lane was real short. It wasn't a safe spot to pull over. But a veteran officer like that should know better. Should know. I would expect something like that from a rookie who just want to conduct a pit maneuver, because these new guys come out and they just I gotta get into it. But everybody has been in that situation where you're trying to get involved with everything and you want to perform everything you've trained, and it's a level of excitement that's behind it. That's why they're supposed to put you with a senior guy so he can kind of calm you down, kind of show you the ropes. I see now that you got more young guys being trained by other young guys. When I came out, my FTO had 10 years on the job. Now I'm seeing guys who are training people who come out in a class, an academy class right after them, which I think is one of the main problems that we're having here today. But getting back to this incident with this particular corporal, he done a pit maneuver because the lady didn't pull right over. Then he tells her, you didn't pull over. Like, she's like, I'm trying. It was a speeding ticket. He called an ambulance for her. He towed her vehicle, then went to the hospital and wrote her a speeding ticket. Now, like, I'm just amazed. Like, we're talking about a speeding ticket, and a tactic that was used is normally used for a fleeing felon. That wasn't even a felony. That wasn't even a felony stop. That wasn't even a felony pursuit. He gave her a speeding ticket. He went to the hospital and wrote her a speeding ticket. Like, it just drives me crazy that, you know, we seen this particular, and then state police, the superintendent is backing the officer. The state superintendent, he says, you know, he had to conduct a pit maneuver. Officers do that because, you know, people who fail to stop by the police and try to elude the police, listen to the word, listen to the verbiage, try to elude. That word, it wasn't try to elude. You don't slow down trying to elude police. You don't move over on the right-hand side, put your hazards on, and trying to elude. But this is his response to this incident. We have to hurry up and eliminate it because they become a danger to the public. You know, you got a lot of cars on the road. There was no cars on the road. There was no, it wasn't, he created a picture that you had this lady who was trying to elude high rates of speed heading towards a school zone. So the officer had no shot. So he had no shot but to actually conduct a pit maneuver to stop because it was very dangerous. This is unacceptable force. This is unacceptable tactics. You know, taxpayers, you guys are going to feel this one. I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure you're going to feel this one because I've seen civil payments go out, these huge sums of payments go out, right, when it was even less than this. So this one is going, taxpayers are going to feel it. And like I tell you, right, when we start talking about standing and challenging officers when it comes down to standing up for what you believe in, guarding your rights, the officer has the home court advantage on the side of that road. Your advantage is in that courtroom. That you make the playing field equal. And what I mean by that now, this day and age, you got more officers getting terminated, suspended, fired, arrested, just all the way around. And then now we got qualified immunity on the chopping block. New York City, they just removed it. So it's happening. So when we start talking about, you know, how much we're going to push the envelope on that side of the road, keep in mind, right, that officer has the home court advantage. Your home court advantage, right, or the playing field is equal is when you get them in that courtroom. Also, you know, we're learning the system now because we're getting more and more educated on how to fight the system. That's why qualified immunity, right, is on the chopping block, and departments are solely having no choice but to remove it. So remember, right, be safe, right? That officer has the home court. Where you begin the fight at is in that courtroom. Also is in that voting box. You start getting people in these positions, these elected officials who represent the community. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. Listen, you got to get people who understand the community and is going to speak on your behalf. Don't just go checking that box because you're a D or you're R. No, invest in understanding who's representing you. These are the people that's going to decide whether qualified immunity exists or not. These are the people who are going to hold officers accountable or not. Okay, we got a lot of bad players in policing, and we need to remove those bad players if we're going to have an effective police department, effective law enforcement agency policing our communities. So stay safe, love you guys, and see you next time.